My name is Mark Price Perry, and welcome to Business Driven PMO. When it comes to PMO setup and management, I have a set of convictions that's different from what I see advocated and practiced within the industry. And today, I'm here to share with you one of those convictions, PMO Setup Guidance. In my opinion, the project management community has a misguided view on guidance for PMO setup. For years, at various project management conferences and events, I've heard one speaker after another talk about PMO setup. Now, the buzzwords, latest trends, and fads of the day may be different, but the overall tone and advice seems to always be the same. 1. Pick a PMO model. 2. Establish quick wins within the first 6 months to get support for the PMO. And 3. Sell the value of the PMO. Now, I couldn't disagree more with this advice. And as an alternative, I present a business-driven approach to PMO setup that consists of the 3 simple but very effective steps. Step 1, establish the constituent-determined PMO mandate. Step 2, develop the PMO business plan. And Step 3, execute the plan. Here's how it works. The first step is to establish the constituent-determined PMO mandate, the ends to be achieved. This involves first determining who the constituents of the PMO are, those served by the PMO, and the appropriate technique to establish a constituent-determined PMO mandate. For this, I can't think of a better technique than the Nemawashi technique, but there's a number of other good facilitation techniques that will get the job done. I tell leadership teams they should allow for 6 months to establish their PMO mandate, 3 months if they're really good and their calendars permit. Think on that for a moment. Where most folks within the project management community provide PMO setup advice that urges you have to get the PMO up and going very quickly, you have to show quick wins within the first 6 months, I tell leadership teams you need 6 months before you even start the PMO. You need 6 months to determine precisely what you want your PMO to do. And the last thing you need to do is to rush into a cookie-cutter solution that doesn't specifically address the end results that you want to achieve. After the constituent-determined PMO mandate has been established, and only after it's been established, the second step, is to establish the PMO business plan. Now, you might have noticed I use the term PMO business plan, not PMO charter. For my money's worth, there's no such thing as a PMO charter. If you have one, throw it away. Now, don't get me wrong, you might have a PMO setup charter as part of a PMO business plan, but the PMO is not a project. It's a business unit. It should be managed by way of a business plan and by way of business management skills, acumen, and experience, just like any other business unit in the organization. And I highly recommend that you use the planning approach and technique that your company already has. Don't go to Google to get an example. Go to your leadership team to get your own company's example. I tell leadership teams they should allow for 3 months for the establishment of a PMO business plan, 1 month if they're really good, and again, if their calendars permit them to meet, discuss, debate, and arrive at approval. After the PMO business plan has been approved, the next step is to execute the business plan. And I highly recommend that the tone and approach to management is not one of viewing the PMO as a supporting, controlling, or directing organization that's here to help. Rather, the PMO is viewed as an accountable organization that must meet the constituent-determined PMO mandate. It helps to remember that PMO success is not the same thing as project success, and PMO review meetings are not the same thing as project review meetings. So have regular PMO review meetings to review with the leadership team, the constituents served by the PMO, how the PMO is doing, how it fares against its objectives that have been set for it. The meeting doesn't have to be long, but it needs to cover the objectives of the PMO, the year-to-date performance against those objectives, the year-end outlook toward those objectives, and any help from the leadership team that the PMO needs in order to meet the expectations the leadership team has of the PMO. Remember, the PMO review meeting is a review of the PMO. It's not a review of projects. That's the business-driven approach to PMO setup. Step 1, establish the constituent-determined PMO mandate. Step 2, Develop the PMO business plan, the means to the ends, and in the language of the company and in the language of business. And step 3, execute the business plan with full commitment to achieving the objectives of the PMO and regular reviews of the leadership team of how the PMO is performing. And again, that's PMO performance, not project performance. Give this business-driven PMO setup guidance a try. It will help you have a better PMO. This has been a business-driven PMO video. My name is Mark Price Perry. Until next time.